I remember this ask about the book. Oh, I was even saying that how to explain Ubuntu just for an example. Um, if I don't talk with you over here and we don't talk like we hate each other, I would say not hate, but maybe we had an argument, a fight or something, right? You're my brother, and I don't come to your house. When we see each other on the road, on the street, we don't greet each other. You just, but if something happens to your family member, let's say probably your child or your mom or whoever, in our practice, in our Ubuntu practice as a Zulu person, you go to that. I will come to you. I will come for condolences. I will come to the funeral. And reason being is that throughout, this was made throughout everything that will make you not to see eye to eye, or that will make you fight. God knew that those things will come, the jealousy, the hatred, and whatever was or whatnot. But then if we look at it in the aspect that I am going to go to Obehi, whatever, maybe it's the funeral or something, I will go there to show Ubuntu. So we used to see, we always say, I'm just showing Ubuntu, and it's such a very, very positive practice, Ubuntu, because Ubuntu, it's like an umbrella of everything that the factors of love comes under Ubuntu. But the difference now between love and Ubuntu humanity is that the Ubuntu practice, it's always positive. It has never been associated with negativity. For example, love can be associated with both the hate and the love, right? Ubuntu, it's always about kindness. It's the closest name I could describe. Kindness, you do kind things because you want to do those kind things, because you are obliged to do those kind things. But then with love, I can say, oh, how much I love you, but I don't mean it, And the same love is the same love that can make you to hate. It can also be converted to hate. Because if I love money and I say, I love money, I will kill to get that money. So there is a bit of hate there, and there's a bit of unkind, there's a bit of evilness on it as well. But I can't kill another person and say, oh, I'm just doing it for humanity, or I'm just doing it for Ubuntu. So Ubuntu has never been linked, connected with negativity, but love has, because your loved one can kill you. We see the domestic violence that is going on, right? When the person is asked, why did you do it? And some do say that I did it because I love her or I loved him, and I couldn't imagine another person being with that person. So is it still love?
It's complicated.
So I always say, if we go back and practice Ubuntu, because Ubuntu, it's more on respect as well. When I say respect, it's I will respect you, you respect me back. I will respect your territory, even though we can be in the same house or in the same place. But the respect is that when you respect somebody, it's that you don't want to hurt another person. That's the respect.
What maybe, for example, the community is being attacked from the outside? How would the spirit of Ubuntu be put together, maybe in sort of defense for the people?
The people who are being attacked outside is to ask questions. Why are we being attacked? And this again goes back to the respect each other's territory. Like we used to do, you respect somebody else's house. In my culture, they call it umuzwenye indoda uyahlonishwa. So basically, it's like another man's house, you respect another man's house. So in that manner is that when you come to my house, as you will respect my house, you'll respect my husband because it's my husband's house, right? And in that way, you can't just do willy-nilly whatever that you wish to do just because of I'm here. I've been given this shelter to live here for 2 weeks. Then I can do as I please. I can smoke inside the house. I can play music if they don't like that. You play loud music, and then you respect it. Respect it's also associated with the humbleness. So you humble yourself when you are given that shelter. When we welcome you as a visitor, then you humble yourself. In so many ways, this has helped when you look at it, that, these practices actually, they do work, but it's going to be challenging now because now we're in the modern ways where I would say I don't respect you because you don't respect me, or I don't care. We individualize ourselves so much that we don't think about what other people think. I know it's not fair that you start worrying about what other people think about you. But that again, it's a way of trying to bring you to be humble. Because if I will do something, if I can get out now and start drinking on the street, start smoking in the street, and not caring who's watching, who says anything, because I don't care. But if that means it perpetuates the behavior that you're behaving. But if I say, oh my God, I can't be seen smoking because Brother Obey will see me doing this ABCD, then you become content. You have there's something that is that supporting structure is shaping you for your behavior to be a better person. If you know if you cleared what I'm saying. So this thing of us now being modern and like, I don't care, I think for myself, it's about me kind of business. It was never an African practice. It was never an African ways. We always believe in, I have to help Obey before I gain, I help myself, or before I gain whatever myself. So it's like even when you look at it in the religion practice in Christianity, it does say in the Bible that you love your neighbor like you love yourself. I'm not saying something which is not written down there. If there's any accusation that what about Africanism? So those are the things that you have to be conscious and think about it. That's why it was said. It's not necessary that you're loving your neighbor as your actual neighbor. It was respecting the other person. That is love. You respect another person, that I will respect you. Whether we've got disagreement with whatever that the disagreement of the perspective of what we're thinking about, but we have to come together somehow to focus on the certain goals.
Yeah, and that is important. Thank you so much for the sharing.
Thank you.
Now, for people that want to get your book, get a copy of it for themselves, share with them, tell them how to get it, and tell them how to connect with you to learn more about what you're doing.
Right. At the moment, my book is, you can find my book through Amazon. I think UK, you can find it, and in Europe as well, different countries that you can find it. In South Africa, when I left some copy. When I was there, I left some copies, which you can connect with me through Facebook. I've got the book page on Facebook, so you can also contact me through that and through messages. Mainly because I can't give out my contact number because I'll be getting weird contacts. So Yeah,
It's okay. It's okay.
we
That's fair enough.
yeah, so you can get it through Amazon. You can get it. You can contact me through the page and on Facebook as well. I'm on Facebook as Fundisiwe Dlamini, and where I'm seeing this book going, the main thing about it was just to start having these conversations like today, having these forum that we can start debating, arguing, disagreeing, but at the end of the day, we need to start talking. We need to start talking. We've been reading for so long that you just read, and the reason for me to do this book as a quotation, it's because I didn't want to talk to write something like articles, or you start writing a book which is like 1,000 pages or 780 pages or whatsoever. But at the end of the day, that person will just read the book and then like, okay, put it away and take another one and like next, and not doing anything. So this book, it's where you read the quote and then you have to challenge yourself to think that you understand it. It could be crypto message. And you need to figure out, and you need to share with your friends that, you know what, I saw this quote. What do you think? Do you think that's right? Then the other person will be like, no, I don't agree with this, ABCD. So this is just establishing the conversation that we need to start talking in order for us to get the solutions. By you talking to your friends, probably your friend can have a better solution than what is in the book. But then you're like, oh, yeah, actually, it revokes so many things. It will be revoking projects. It will be revoking podcasts. It will be revoking, the debate, those platforms where you will be communicating, and whether you've given an opportunity to disagree or agree. But it's just the beginning or the start of talking, having conversation. And that's what we need, because we're not having conversation enough. We are thinking, we have given up in a way that I can't be bothered by that topic. I can't be talking about that. Yeah, let's move on. But how do you move on without healing?
That's a good question.
The past and the present, and you're like, I can't be bothered. It's like you're building this garden, the flowers, you're just putting the flowers on top of the mud. But then we need to go deep to the mud and start putting more soil in order for it to be stable, and say, let's talk about it. It's uncomfortable. I'm willing for anybody, any race, to come to me and debate about the book. Why did you say Black population? Why did you say this? As if it was just the Black population that was favored. But for me, it's not about the Black population which was favored. My focus was the focus of this race, who are the last in the list. That how can you gain your confidence, know that you are loved, know that you're beautiful, know that you need to have the self-love, know that you can be more than what you think you can. So that's why I'm channeling it to, I'm saying Black population. It's not mainly on the matter of discriminating other race, but other race are functioning well. Other race are up there. And
yeah, but of course, you need to speak for yourself. That is fair enough. You're not going to be speaking for everybody now. Every other person have their mind; they can speak for themselves. So thank you so much for
and unfortunately is that the ideas that I can come with are the ideas that probably I know of because I'm a Black person. I can't talk on behalf of other person. I can't talk on behalf of Asians. I can't talk on behalf of white population, because I know best. I know Black best. So that's what it is.
Thank you so much for the conversation. So briefly, what would be your final message here to conclude it? Very briefly to conclude it. Please go ahead and do that.
Yes, the final message that probably I can give out is that let's go back to the Ubuntu practice, and let's love one another. Let's have confidence and self-love amongst each other, and that will heal us. And let's make sure that we protect our mind.
Thank you so much. I repeat again, it is highly valuable what you're talking about here. The mind is a terrible thing to lose, so we must protect it.
Exactly.
We must protect it.
Yes.
Thank you so much, sister.
Yeah, and another thing probably that I can just run through with the book, I'm looking on so many different future projects. One of them being obviously the podcast on explaining these quotation in a deep and like what we are doing today, and to see if people do understand and for their views, people's view, their critics. And that's how we can start shaping. And another, it's about focusing on literacy and teaching our kids the power of knowing their languages and the power of knowing their identity through books and through the Black history knowledge. And that's another thing that I'm looking at. And other than that, it's just the book. Always see it's been part of other projects as well. It's also piloting with other projects in South Africa. One of them, it was when we donated with the disaster that happened in KZN. That was 2021. And with the copy that was bought of the book, then we managed to donate to the charities that were helping the floods disaster that were happening in South Africa. And we can still do more with the help of obviously being united and working hand in hand. And with the sales of the book, we can achieve more in Africa.
Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. So keep on doing what you're doing. It is very important. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.